Hi everyone, welcome back to the Wonders of Christmas. And today we're going to be talking about the symbolism of a Christmas tree. So I am sitting right here in front of my Christmas tree, and it's our family tradition that the kids all get together and we open up a new ornament every year when we decorate the Christmas tree. And so we have a whole collection of ornaments from years past, which is very meaningful, as then we get to get them out year after year after year as we add new memories each year as well. So today I want you to find in your kit the Christmas tree craft, which is going to be made out of doilies. And it has instructions that look like this. At the very top, it actually talks about the symbolism of a Christmas tree and gives you some Bible verses. So as we do this, we'll also read through the symbolism. So since we're starting with the tree, I'm going to start by reading the Christmas tree one. It says, a Christmas tree is an evergreen symbolizing eternal life. And that's what Jesus gives to us, because even after we leave this current life, then because of Jesus, we get to, our sins are forgiven, and we get to go up into heaven and live eternally with God. What more could you possibly ask for? And the Bible verse that goes along with this one is, for God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, so that everyone who believes in him may not perish, but may have eternal life. And that comes from the book of John, chapter 3, verse 16. So as we start our Christmas tree, you have 4 different sizes of doilies. Now the very first thing you need to do is to find your double-sided tape, which should be in your packet. And each size doily actually has 2 doilies. Some of them might be more loose, but you'll see that there's 2. Some of them are kind of stuck together and you'll have to kind of peel them back. But what I need you to do is take a piece of tape. I've already cut out a quarter of it for you so that that part's easy, but we want these 2 doilies to stick together. We don't want them to come apart. So you're going to take tape, and you're going to put it in between. I'm just peeling part of it back. And you're going to put a piece of double-sided tape right in between the 2 layers, just so they stick together. You don't want them coming off as part of the project. And we're going to do that on both sides of the cut. I'm going to do it on the other side. Now this is my small one. Oops. This one's stuck together a little bit more on that side. It's fine if they're stuck together. You don't have to totally unstick them, just enough to get it peeled back so you can put the tape in there. Okay, and you don't have to do it the entire length, but just as long as there's some tape in there to hold those together. And now you're going to do the same thing for each size. I already did it for my other sizes, so I have those done. I just wanted to show you exactly what I meant by that. And then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to decorate your doilies I provided these little sequins or confetti in your packet, and that's what I've used to decorate the sample. Here's my sample that I have. This is what our finished product is going to look like. So we're going to make our doilies into cones, and here I put sequins all over, and the sequins actually are symbolizing our lights. So I want you to at least glue some of those on, because that's one of our symbols, is the light. But if you wanted to decorate more with crayons or markers, then feel free to. For the one I'm working on now, I actually had some crayons. This one, it's just from the sequins, and there's no extra color on there. But the ones that I started doing my current one, and I don't know if the light is good enough to see, but you can see I added some crayons of the yellow, and there's some red and green along the edges. The crayon's rather light, so I was going for a lighter effect, but if you have markers, if you want something a little darker, then certainly a marker could provide you with a little darker decoration. So like I said, you don't have to add any extra color to it, but you're certainly welcome to if you want to. So on my top one, I am going to find my glue right in front of me. And this one I have not done any decoration to. So I'm gonna color, I think I'm gonna make some lines on this one. I'm gonna have to do it on my tray here. I'm just gonna make some squiggly lines coming down. I'll show you what I'm doing in a minute in different colors. It's kind of like some confetti looking streamers. And then I'm gonna color some dots. It's my red. I used yellow on the other ones, but in this one I colored some red. I don't know if you can see that. My light there, maybe like that. See, I just used some, but you can do it any way that you want. And you don't have to add any color at all, like I said. So then I'm gonna just put some glue dots all over here. Put some on the, now when you are coloring, if you're trying to color the lacy part, just be careful. Because you could easily rip that, but otherwise, go for it. And I'm going to put some of my sequins on here, put some white. The white doesn't really show up that much because it's white on white, but it still adds a little reflection if that's what you're looking for. So here I'm doing white and red. I did red and green on my other layers. So I'm just doing a little different. And then I'm going to add some green on top. Maybe some red too. These little sequins are hard to pick up. Okay. And then you'll want to just, dropped it, there we go. Then you'll want to set this off to the side and let your sequins dry off a little bit. But I'm going to keep on going. I've already started. What we're going to do is after it's dry, here I'm gonna, this is my next to the smallest one, we're going to make it into a cone. So I'm going to need my double-sided tape again. As soon as I find it, there we go. I just had a sequin come off in my hand. Oh, I think I see where it goes. Put it back there. That's why you wait till it dries a little bit so you don't lose them. Now, here on this, I'm going to turn it upside down, so opposite of where your decorations are. And I'm going to put, oh, it's hard to do. On one side, well, it's upside down. I'm going to put a piece of tape again along that edge, that cut edge. Just like that. And then I'm going to, the side that has the tape on it, I'm going to put on top of the other side. A little closer you can see. So this is the side that has the tape. It's going to go on top. And I'm just going to make a cone. And I do want a little bit, tiny bit of a hole on top because we're going to stick a stick through there. So if you can see, there's just a little bit of a gap there. And I've already done my bigger two. I've got this one and this one. And then I'm going to go ahead and do my little one just to save a little time, but it's still a little wet, so my sequins might move a little bit, but that's okay. Okay, so again, I'm going to put it underneath. I'm going to stick the tape along one of the straight edges, and where the tape is going to go on top of the other. And I might cover some of my decorations That's okay. And leave a little bit of a hole on top in order for my stick to go through. Okay, so now let's go back, since we did the sequins, and look at the symbolism of the lights. We all frequently put lights on our Christmas tree, or maybe we have candles, the Advent candles. Some people put candles in windows, or these days electric candles. They used to, way back when, put candles on the tree. I want to say that was a German tradition. I could be wrong, so again, that might be something you can Google. But the lights that we hang on the tree and candles we use at Christmas symbolize the light that Jesus brought to the earth. So every time you see a Christmas light, you can see, remember Jesus and the light that he has, that he brought to the earth, which means that we're not living in darkness. We're living in Jesus's love, and we have so many things that we can look forward to. Not that we don't have dark times, but when we do have dark times, we can turn to Jesus, and he can be the light that shines us through those dark times. And the Bible verse is Luke chapter 1, verse 79. To give light to those who sit in darkness and in the shadow of death, to guide our feet into the way of peace. Okay, so now we're going to assemble our tree. Before we start that, we're going to do the base though. You have a piece of styrofoam and a piece of felt. Now the glue doesn't work so well on the felt, so we're going to go back to our double stick tape, and we're going to put some tape on the side of the styrofoam that has a hole. You can see there's a hole right there. So we're going to put tape on that side, because that's where our tree is going to go. Now you might have a smaller hole on the bottom where the tool went through, but one side definitely has a bigger hole than the other side. So do it where the bigger hole is. And I'm just going to put 4 pieces of tape that kind of go around that hole onto my styrofoam. And it may not stick that well, but do your best to get it to stick down. Ultimately, the tree is going to go in there, and it will keep it down. Now, all of these supplies were in your kit except for the liquid glue, so you will need to find some liquid glue in order to finish this project. Now, just to secure it a little more, I'm going to also add a little liquid glue, not on top of the tape, because that won't help it stick, but around the tape I'm going to add a little liquid glue, and then hopefully we'll have a nice secure thing. So there is a hole inside your felt as well, so I need you to take your hole from your felt and line it up to the hole that's on the styrofoam, and then, because the tree is going to go right through there, and then just press, pat down, and hopefully it sticks. You can always go back and add a little more glue or another piece of tape if you need to. Okay, now we're going to set that off to the side. Now, you're going to find a stick, and this is going to be the trunk of your tree. And one side is pointed, so that's the top of your tree. And then inside your little bag, there's a little baby Jesus, some presents, and a star. There's also some rubber bands. The rubber bands are going to be what helps us. I'm just going to dump all these out on my tray. You know, the rubber bands is going to be what helps us keep the doilies in place. So I've already put one rubber band on here for my first one, and then I'm going to add a little bit of glue to that so that it all gets stuck down permanently. And then I'm going to take my stick, pointy side up. Oh, and I didn't mention, there are marks of where the rubber bands go. I'm going to slide my first one down, and that's going to stop where the rubber band is. And then I'm going to add a little more glue. I want to make sure that that stays, and then it will once the glue dries. Okay, so that's number 1, and then I'm going to do this again. Let's see, I'm just going to put my rubber band on here. I'm going to twist 1, 2, 3 or 4 times. And then I have my rubber band on, and I'm going to squish it down and roll it all the way down to that next dot on your stick. Now, if you are having a hard time holding this and doing it all, you can put it into your base and put it on top of a table. That will help secure it a little bit. So now, or you can hold it, I'm just holding it in my hand. Or if you have a parent helping you, a parent can hold as you're putting all the stuff on. Now I'm going to take my next largest, so the bottom one is the largest, and then the next largest, and I want my seams to line up. This is my seam, so I want my next seam to go so it matches up in this place, so that will be the back of your tree. Stick that on down just until I hit that, the rubber band. Put a little more on top. And then we're going to do it again. So you're going to do this 4 times until you have all of your doilies. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Roll it down. Okay. And then we gotta remember to glue both sides of the rubber, or the doily, I guess. I'm gonna line up my seam, so that's the back. Now this hole I actually made a little bit big, so it's falling through a little bit from the rubber band. That's okay. I'm just gonna put a little extra glue. As the glue dries, it will all stick together. So a little hole is good, but if you make your hole a little too big, just add a little extra glue to make sure it firmly attaches. Okay. I'm twirling my tree as I'm trying to get the next rubber band. Now we're going to do the 4th rubber band one last time. And we're going to twist and loop it. And then roll it down. I just stuck my hand in the glue. That's okay. Okay. And then I'm going to, you hear that buzzing, my phone's actually ringing. Let me just turn that off. I'm going, I at least put it on vibrate, right? So it didn't ring too loudly. Okay. Last one on top. One little bit more glue, and there we have it. Okay, not too bad. What do you think? This is my Christmas tree, and I'm going to put that right in the base. Oh, mine poked right on through. That's okay if it pokes on through. Just pull it back, and then you're going to lay it on a table. So, you know what? I did forget one thing. We have to add our ribbon. So if you haven't gotten this far, then you can add your ribbon. We want to cover that. I'm going to actually take my tree out. I'm just going to lay it down. It's fine if you lay it down for a minute. We need to cover the base with the ribbon to make it all pretty. Once again, we're going to use the double-sided tape. And we're just going to stick, you can put tape all the way around, or you don't have to put it all the way around, but you can use different, you know, do it a little bit here and a little bit there, and then stick it down. There, now that's all pretty. I can't believe I forgot that. And now I'm going to take my dancing tree and put it back in there, in the hole. And isn't that gorgeous? Now, when you, here I have a tray on my lap. When you lay it flat, you can, before the glue dries, you can move these around a little bit so your seams, like, I'm just dancing around. I'm going to move it so all my seams are in the back. Okay. Okay, and then it will be a lot more secure once it all dries. So now, what else do we have in our kit? We have a star. I always have an angel on top of my tree, which is also a big symbol, which we are not talking about in this specific craft. But the angels did come, and angels are throughout the Christmas story. Gabriel came to Joseph and to Mary to tell him about the baby Jesus was going to be born. And the angels came to the shepherds to announce the birth of Jesus. So angels are a very important symbol too. But for this tree, we're going to use a star. Oops, just dropped it. And a star is really big in the Christmas story, as you know, because the Christmas star appears when Jesus is born, and it is actually what leads the wise men to be able to find Jesus. So if you look at our symbol sheet, it talks about the star. Many Christmas trees have a star on top to symbolize the star that shone so bright when Jesus was born and guided the wise men to the manger. And the Bible verse is Matthew chapter 2, verse 2. Where is the child who has been born King of the Jews? For we observed his star at its rising and have come to pay him homage. So because of the star, the wise men were able to find him. Now your star has a little sticky back, so just take off the paper and then simply press it right onto the top of your stick where the point is. And then you want the seams in the back, so the sticky part can also be shown in the back. There, just like that. And then the other things we have presents. I have all different colors presents, so everybody has a different combination of presents. And presents or gifts are put under the tree for our family and friends, symbolizing the gifts given by the three wise men to the baby Jesus. And the Bible verse is Matthew chapter 2, verse 11. On entering the house, they saw the child with Mary, his mother, and they knelt down and paid him homage. Then opening their treasure chests, they offered him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. So, for a little bit of symbolism, I told you that one of my holes was a little bit big, and it just came bursting out because I've been moving it so much. So when I'm all done with the lesson, I'm going to make sure that I have plenty of glue there, and I'm going to stop moving it around so it can just sit there and dry. But until it's dry, we can move stuff around and reposition it. So you're going to take your presents, and you should have two, and you're going to put them under your tree. Now, it's your choice. You can just leave them under the tree if it's sitting on a table somewhere. They'll be secure just sitting there. However, if you want, you can try gluing them, although I didn't have a lot of luck with the glue, so you can go back to your double-sided tape to put them down there. And then our very last one is our baby Jesus in the manger. And we talked a lot about mangers last time. The manger is actually a feeding trough for animals, and Joseph put hay in it and gave it to make it soft and made it into a bed for Jesus. And so the nativity, so on our symbols list here, it actually has the nativity. And the nativity is the whole scene. Mary, Joseph, the shepherds, the wise men, the animals all make up the nativity. But this is Jesus in the manger, so that's going to be our symbol for the nativity. And the nativity represents Jesus' birth. Some family traditions lay out a nativity scene under the Christmas tree, which was always a tradition in my house growing up. And the Bible verse is Luke chapter 2, verse 7. And she gave birth to her firstborn son and wrapped him in bands of cloth and laid him in a manger because there was no place for them in the inn. So this is, you can see, oh, my light is so bad here. Can we see baby Jesus? maybe if I tip it that way. Yeah. Well, you have one in your kit. So baby Jesus is not, I have too much light actually shining on baby Jesus for you to see him too up close. Maybe you can see, oh, maybe they're a little bit. Okay. Baby Jesus is Christmas. Without baby Jesus, there is no Christmas. So we need to celebrate Jesus and his birth, and just remember why we have Christmas to begin with. And it's all because of this little baby. And that is why the angels came, the shepherds came, and the wise men came, and everybody came to praise this little baby. So this is the very most important part of this whole Christmas tree is our baby Jesus. So it actually is a thumbtack underneath. So mine lost the little green thing, but there should be a green foam that you can take off of your, so you can expose the thumbtack, and then you just stick the baby Jesus in the manger right under your tree. So you have your presents in your tree, and oh, see, yeah, this keeps sliding down. I gotta stop moving it. Okay, there we go. Put it back up. I'm all done. I'm going to, like I said, just leave it alone so it stays put until the glue dries. So there you have it. Your very own Christmas tree, doily Christmas tree with the baby Jesus and gifts, our star, our lights, and all the symbols that we talked about as part of our Christmas tree. They're flopped one more time. And just remember, any mistakes you can go back and fix, and I will go back and fix that in just a minute. But you'll see that this is the one that I've already done that is nice and dry, and I can wiggle it and move it, and it will stay put. So just make sure you give it enough time to dry before you do that. And there's my baby Jesus. I did not secure the presents down to this one, and they have fallen off somewhere. Probably Penny is off playing with them. So just keep that in mind. If you don't secure the presents and you move it, they will potentially fall off. So that is that. I hope you enjoy making your own doily Christmas trees, and think about all the wonderful symbolism, not only in this Christmas tree, but in your own Christmas trees that you have at home, or when you're out and see other beautiful Christmas trees. Look for the symbols of the Christmas tree. Look for the symbols on the Christmas tree and the symbol of the Christmas tree itself, everlasting life. And enjoy this Christmas season. We got 1 week till Christmas. I can't believe that we're all so close to Christmas. So just enjoy Christmas. Remember the true meaning is Jesus' birth. And make sure you check out the video on the birthday party for Jesus, because that is what it's all about. We're celebrating Jesus and his birth, and how do you do that? A birthday party. So hope you all have a fabulous week and a wonderful Christmas, and I can't wait to see you in the new year. Bye.